Staying in a job you hate isn't just about being unhappy at work. It's actually most likely costing you in multiple areas of your life. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 4 hidden costs of staying in a job that you hate. So if that sounds like the kind of thing you need to hear in this season of your career, then keep watching. Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Dr. 𝙁𝙤𝙧. I'm a career counselor and coach, and I work with women who are unhappy at work and help them get super clear about who they are so they can clarify their fulfilling career paths and secure an aligned job that they enjoy and can thrive in while increasing their salaries. If you find this video helpful today, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. Let's get into the video. Okay, so let's start by talking about what exactly might lead to you being unhappy at work. So really what I have found consistently is that when you hate your job, when you are feeling unfulfilled, unhappy, and dissatisfied at work, there's usually a misalignment in one of 3 areas. The work is either misaligned with your values, your interests, or your skills. Without fail, any cause of dissatisfaction in your career that you can think of can be tied back to misalignment in one of those 3 areas. So that's why I usually say I'm trying to help women secure aligned jobs. When I say aligned jobs, I'm referring to an alignment between your values, your interests, and your skills. Whenever you're doing any kind of work that is misaligned with your values, interests, or skills, you end up experiencing higher levels of work stress. And when you experience high levels of stress of any kind, it starts impacting your body and your mind. And so in today's video, as I'm talking about the hidden costs, the first 2 are really tied to the stress that doing unaligned work can have on your body. So the first hidden cost that you are likely paying by staying in that job you hate are physical costs. When you are experiencing higher levels of work stress, it also means that your body has higher levels of cortisol that's being pumped into your system to try to keep your body safe. Because essentially, when you're stressed, it signals to your brain that at this point, your brain needs to try to keep you safe and secure. And that process happens with hormones, chemicals being pumped into our system, which is usually what turns on what we call the hot system, where you're sweating, your temperature is hot, your temperature is high, your heart is racing thoughts. All of that are chemical reactions that are happening in your body to get you ready for the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn survival response. So essentially, when I talk about physical cost, when your body is consistently in that state of stress and being activated, your body is paying a price when all those hormones are being pumped in. Specifically, we see things like increase in weight, whether I should say increase or decrease. We see things like weight loss or weight gain, and your weight becomes more difficult to manage. You might start losing your hair. Your skin might start breaking out where you're having skin issues. You might find that you're experiencing more ulcers in your stomach. You might see that you're getting sick. You're experiencing frequent colds. And that's because high levels of work stress really start to stress out your immune system and deteriorates your immune system's response. And so you're more susceptible to infections. When you are experiencing higher levels of stress, you might find that you are experiencing more headaches, jaw pain, so TMJ from clenched jaw. Essentially, your body starts breaking down and falling apart. And those are the physical costs that you might find that you're paying because you're staying in that job that you hate. The second hidden cost of staying in an unaligned job that you hate are the mental costs. Again, when your body is in this constant state of activation, trying to scan or always scanning to see if you're safe, and that could be maybe because you are working with people who are either toxic, whether they are backbiting, you're experiencing microaggressions, you're working with managers who are micromanaging or not giving you any clear, parameters for your work. You don't know what exactly your responsibilities are. Whatever is the thing that's leading to the misalignment, it's causing you to always be alert, to always be aware, to always be scanning your environment to see that you're safe, to make sure nobody's going to come at you, whether it's psychologically or physiologically. When you are experiencing those higher levels of work stress that are causing you to always be on guard, what you start seeing happening, and this is backed by research. Research shows us that when you experience higher levels of work stress, what we see happening to your mental health and mental costs you might pay is that you're experiencing higher levels of anxiety, high levels of depression, low motivation. There are racing thoughts that you are dealing with. So your brain is always racing and you can hardly ever settle down. You're experiencing lower levels of creativity. You are more hopeless, more irritable, and you find yourself hitting that point of burnout. These are all mental costs that you are likely paying just by staying in that unaligned job that you hate. And then the third hidden cost that you are likely paying by staying in that unaligned job you hate are relational costs. So because of the physical symptoms you're experiencing because your job is draining you and the mental health symptoms, your relationships start to suffer. You find that you're complaining more, which is leading to more fights and arguments in your relationships. You're too drained and tired to spend time with your loved ones, whether it's your friends, your children, your spouse, whoever it may be. You're too burnt out to actually spend time with them. So you're not connecting and you're seeing more strain and more of a wedge happening in your relationship. Your work is making you more impatient. So you are now snapping at your loved ones because you have been exercising all your patience at work. When you get home, you have no time to actually now be patient with your loved ones. You even find, and I remember one of my clients talked about this, where because work was so draining for her, she couldn't be around her friends because it caused her to feel a sense of shame that she wasn't unhappy or she wasn't at the level of her career that she wanted to be. And so that shame from her career caused her to start distancing herself from her friends. I remember her saying that they used to have monthly brunches and she hadn't gone to a brunch in like 5 months because she didn't want to be around them. She didn't want to talk about their career and she didn't want to see how they were being successful. She didn't want to feel like she was stuck behind because they were doing great things and they were advancing in their own careers. So essentially, you might start feeling resentment towards your loved ones because they are doing well in their own career and you're not. So ultimately, the physical and mental health symptoms that you're experiencing from being in that job start leading to strain in your relationship to where you now are experiencing relational costs, deterioration of your relationships because of that unaligned job that you hate. And then the final hidden cost that you are likely paying by staying in that job you hate are financial costs. Now, let's start with the fact that as of 2023, research shows that in North America, the amount of money that an individual, so like an independent individual, needs to experience life satisfaction on average is $282,000. So $282K is the amount that research shows after this amount, money stops being the determining factor for happiness and life satisfaction. Other things start to become more important. And so I always think that if you take that 282 and you break it down, it comes up to about $6,000 a month. It's really 5,870 something. So I rounded it up to 6,000. So essentially, for every month that you are unhappy, if we break it down further, I believe daily it comes up to maybe $800 a day, right? So every day that you're unhappy or every month that you're in that job that's making you miserable, making you doubt yourself, making you question if you have value to add, you're essentially paying $6,000 every month because that's what it costs for you to be happy. Plus, what we also know is that when people who change jobs, well, companies specifically, people who change companies on average earn more than people who stay with one company. So if you have been unhappy in a job that you hate, but you have stayed with that company, whether it's because you wanted to be loyal to them, you didn't know if you could do anything else in your career, you're doubting if your skills are transferable, whatever the reason, you have stayed with this company for a lot of years, you're also losing out in actual dollars because your earning potential is suffering. You're paying because every year that you stay there, your earning potential goes down. I mean, think about it. Most of these companies on average are giving you what, like a 3 to 5% bonus every year. Meanwhile, when you leave and go to a different company, there's no limit to how much you can increase your salary by. I once had a client increase a salary by 256%. That's the highest a client has ever done. So there's no cap. And every time you are moving on in your career, the salary you had before is the baseline from which you can negotiate the next thing. And so when you stay in a job where your salary has stayed pretty much stagnant, let's be real, 3% is not a big increase for the most part. So when you're staying in a place where your salary is just doing this, is baselining, that's every year you're reducing the bargaining point that you have to increase your salary by. Because if you had changed, then whenever you make a move to a different company, you would be able to negotiate from a higher salary amount. So essentially, whether it's in life satisfaction or actual earning cost, staying in that job you hate is costing you actual factual dollars in your wallet and your bank account. So there you have it, 4 hidden costs that you're paying by staying in that job you hate. I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know, did any of these resonate? Have you seen yourself paying any of these costs because you're staying in a job that's making you unhappy? And if any of this resonates and you are ready to change your situation and do something else, essentially end up in a job that actually excites you, a job where you can thrive in, that allows you to live on purpose and do work that energizes you, then I invite you to check out my coaching program, Find Your Fulfilling Career. Find Your Fulfilling Career was created to help women clarify their fulfilling career paths and secure an aligned job, all while increasing their salary by at least 5 figures. You can go to findyourfulfillingcareer.com. Again, that link is findyourfulfillingcareer.com, and it's going to be in the description below to learn more about how you can join us and finally secure a job that you can thrive in. And as usual, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.